Dear child, I want to speak to you slowly and clearly, in a way your heart can truly receive. Something real has shifted in your life. This is not imagination, coincidence, or you reading too much into things. What you are sensing is the result of movement that was happening quietly beneath the surface, now beginning to take form in the physical world. When something moves from the unseen into visibility, it changes everything inside. Your soulmate has already spoken your name when you were not present. They carried you into conversations you never heard, into thoughts they tried to silence, into moments where they almost chose courage but hesitated. The public confession that happened was not accidental or impulsive. It was release. It was pressure finally breaking. It was the result of holding truth inside for too long, until silence became heavier than honesty. Once truth is spoken out loud, it cannot return to hiding. Once something is acknowledged openly, the energy shifts. You can feel that shift in your body, in your chest, in your sleep, in the way memories rise without warning. Your soul recognized the change before your mind could explain it. The body and spirit always know first. This confession was not only about love, it was about courage. Courage is not just emotional strength. It is spiritual force. Courage breaks old timelines. Courage pulls people out of fear-based patterns. Courage ends avoidance and invites responsibility. That is why this moment feels different. It is not just emotional intensity. It is a turning point. Take a breath. Let your nervous system soften. Let the part of you that waited without answers rest. The delay you experienced was not rejection. It was preparation. The distance was not abandonment. It was alignment. The silence was not absence. It was restraint. Your soulmate was not silent because you did not matter. They were silent because honesty would have required them to face parts of themselves they were not ready to confront. Love exposes what is unresolved. Love demands maturity. For a long time, they survived by avoiding vulnerability. But something shifted. Holding back began to hurt more than speaking. Regret became heavier than risk. That is why the confession happened when it did. Not because you forced it, not because you waited long enough, but because they reached their threshold. This is where paths begin moving toward each other naturally, without chasing or pressure. What is meant for you does not rush you or require you to abandon yourself. What is meant for you can move slowly and still be certain. There is a season for everything. While this was not your season before, it is becoming your time now. The public nature of the confession matters because it signals readiness to be seen and to be accountable. Visibility carries responsibility. That is why the energy feels heavy and light at the same time. Heavy because truth carries weight, and light because lies no longer need to be carried. Your hesitation makes sense. When something shifts quickly after a long wait, the heart scans for danger even in joy. Fear is loud, urgent, and tight. Intuition is calm, steady, and grounded. Fear pushes reaction. Intuition invites presence. You are safe to receive what is approaching, not because it will be perfect, but because it is honest. Honesty is the only soil where real love grows. Love cannot survive in secrecy or confusion. This confession leveled the field. Before, secrecy created imbalance and emotional exhaustion. Now you are no longer guessing. You are discerning. Discernment is quiet. It watches patterns. It values consistency over intensity. Do not let excitement erase the wisdom you gained while waiting. Waiting taught you boundaries, self-respect, and discernment. A confession opens a door, but walking through it requires consistency and mutual effort. You do not need to rush your response. You are allowed to move slowly, to ask questions, and to feel unsure while staying open. Patience does not mean passivity. Kindness does not mean erasing yourself. You are stepping into a connection where both hearts are visible, not just hopeful. This is deeper than fantasy. Fantasy thrives on intensity. Reality thrives on steadiness. You may notice signs increasing around you, numbers, songs, dreams that feel meaningful. These are not tests. You are not being asked to prove yourself. You are being guided to stay present. Presence is where clarity lives. Watch what follows the confession. Watch how they show up without an audience. Watch how they respect your pace and boundaries. Watch patterns, not promises. This connection is not here to repeat old cycles. It is here to close them. You are choosing a future direction, and you are allowed to choose wisely. If your heart trembles, it does not mean no. Sometimes it means importance. Sacred things are approached with reverence, not impulsivity. Guard your heart. But remember that guarding does not mean closing. It means honoring what you feel without letting fear lead. A public confession changes energetic contracts. It invites witnesses and removes the option to pretend nothing happened. That is why your soulmate feels both exposed and relieved. Do not minimize what occurred. Your soul already understands its significance. If emotional waves rise, let them move. Processing does not always happen through thinking. Your body integrates truth. Your spirit integrates timing. Your heart integrates safety. This connection is not here to drain you. It is here to expand you. Expansion can feel uncomfortable before it feels joyful. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not naive. You are responding with wisdom earned through experience. After the confession, silence may return, but it feels different. Not empty charged. That silence is integration. Old identities are shedding. You are releasing the version of yourself that waited without confirmation. They are releasing the version that avoided vulnerability. You no longer have to live in maybe. Certainty, even when complex, brings relief. The next phase requires deeper, slower, more intentional communication. You may feel less tolerance for small talk or mixed signals. That is not hardness. It is maturity. You want wholeness, not fragments. You are not responsible for carrying momentum alone. Reciprocity will show itself through action. If you feel pressure, pause. Pressure is not guidance. Peace is. Old fears may surface, but they are memories asking to be released. Not predictions of the future. You are not here to suffer for love. You are here to co-create it. You are not here to fix your soulmate. Growth must be mutual. Love must be balanced. Receiving may feel harder than giving, but vulnerability is where intimacy lives. If care and consistency show up, allow yourself to receive without suspicion. Sometimes unfamiliar safety feels strange because chaos was familiar. You do not need to decide everything now. Stay present. Stay honest. Stay self-respecting. The next steps will unfold through lived experience, not overthinking. This is not a promise of perfection. It is the beginning of something meaningful. Meaningful beginnings require courage from both sides. Courage has been shown. Now comes integration, steadiness, and truth sustained over time. Hold yourself gently. Transitions are sacred. You do not need to shrink your joy or make yourself smaller to be loved. You are allowed to be seen. You are allowed to receive. You are allowed to choose love without abandoning yourself. And what is coming will meet you at the level of your self-respect. What is real does not need to shrink, dim itself, or hide in order to survive. Truth does not need to whisper to stay alive. Love that is genuine does not depend on perfect conditions, constant reassurance, or flawless timing. What is meant for you can stand openly in the light. It does not disappear when things slow down. It does not collapse when silence appears. It remains steady because it is rooted in something deeper than fear. Your soulmate did not speak because they were pushed or pressured. They spoke because silence became heavier than truth. Holding everything inside became more painful than finally being honest. That distinction matters. When someone speaks because they can no longer carry the weight of what they feel, they are not acting impulsively. They are responding to an internal breaking point where truth demands expression. This kind of truth does not come from excitement alone. It comes from reckoning. And reckoning carries weight. Perfect timing is not a requirement for destiny. Destiny does not wait until every fear disappears or every detail is resolved. It moves when the heart becomes willing. Willing to be seen. Willing to admit what has been denied. Willing to risk vulnerability instead of hiding behind delay. Willingness is what opens the door, not perfection. As time passes, you may notice moments when doubt returns unexpectedly. One moment you feel calm and certain, and the next you feel unsure again. This is not failure. This is not regression. This is the mind catching up to what the soul already accepted. The soul often knows long before the mind can fully understand. The mind needs time to adjust because it is built to protect you. It scans for danger. It remembers disappointment. It questions stability when something feels unfamiliar. So, when doubt appears, it is not proof that something is wrong. It is proof that you are adapting to a new internal reality. Be patient with your thoughts. They are learning a new narrative. Old stories do not dissolve instantly. They fade slowly through repetition of truth. They weaken each time reality contradicts them. And now truth is no longer just something you hoped for. It is something you are living inside of. You are no longer imagining what could be. You are responding to what is. That shift changes everything. When you have spent a long time waiting, calm can feel strange. Stability can feel unfamiliar. Even peace can feel suspicious when you are used to uncertainty. Power feels different when you are no longer chasing it. You are not waiting in the same way anymore. Waiting has transformed. It is no longer longing. It is discernment. Longing aches. Longing grasps. Longing feels like hunger and urgency. Discernment observes. Discernment watches without panic. Discernment allows space for truth to reveal itself naturally. You are observing now. And observation will protect you without making you guarded. It will keep you open without making you vulnerable to self-betrayal. Your soulmate is also observing themselves. They are seeing their own patterns with new clarity. They are noticing where they avoided truth in the past, where they delayed, where they hid behind confusion or silence. This awareness can make a person quieter for a while. Quiet does not mean absence. Quiet often means reflection. Quiet can mean someone is finally taking responsibility for their inner world. Allow space without immediately assuming distance. Space used consciously strengthens connection. Space used unconsciously weakens it. You will feel the difference intuitively. Calm silence feels safe. Avoidant silence feels heavy. Trust what your body tells you. Do not rush to fill silence if it feels peaceful. Only address silence when it feels evasive. Even if you doubt yourself, You know the difference. Doubt does not cancel intuition. Doubt only asks for reassurance. Give yourself reassurance through self-honesty. Ask yourself what you feel without judgment. Do not criticize your emotions. Do not shame your caution. Simply ask and answer yourself truthfully. This is self-respect in practice. You may also notice changes happening in other areas of your life. Motivation begins to return. Focus sharpens. Boundaries feel clearer. You feel more grounded in yourself. This is not coincidence. When emotional uncertainty dissolves, energy redistributes. You reclaim parts of yourself that were paused while you waited for clarity. You stop leaking energy into overthinking. You stop replaying conversations. You stop searching for signs. And that energy comes back to you. This relationship is not consuming you. It is awakening you. That is one of the clearest signs of something healthy. Healthy love expands your sense of self. It does not replace it. It does not require you to disappear in order to belong. If fear whispers that this could all disappear, remember this: what is meant to teach you will not leave before the lesson becomes integrated. And what is meant to stay will prove itself through time. You do not need to predict outcomes. You do not need to control the future. You need to stay present. The present is where wisdom operates. The future is shaped by how you honor yourself now. This is why the reminder to not live ahead of grace matters. Grace meets you where you are, not where you fear you might end up. This does not mean avoiding responsibility. It means not carrying tomorrow's weight before it arrives. As communication continues, speak from clarity, not emotional overflow. You do not need to respond instantly. You are allowed to pause. Pauses prevent misunderstandings. Pauses are not rejection. They are care. When you honor your own rhythm, others learn it naturally. How you treat yourself teaches people how to treat you. Consistency with yourself builds trust with others. This is not a time for games or testing. It is a time for sincerity without overexposure. Depth does not require revealing everything at once. Depth grows when safety is consistent. Let safety build naturally. You are allowed to enjoy the moment without solving the entire future. Joy does not ruin destiny. Fear of joy delays it. Let yourself smile when you think of them. Let yourself feel hope without clinging to outcomes. Hope rooted in self-worth is stable. Hope rooted in dependency is fragile. You are choosing stability, and that choice is shaping what comes next. You are not being tested by love. You are being invited into partnership with it. Partnership requires presence, patience, and integrity. You have already shown all three through restraint, reflection, and growth. This moment did not arrive by accident. It arrived because you changed internally. Internal change always comes before external confirmation. Your soulmate responded to the version of you who no longer chased, begged, or doubted your worth. They felt that shift even if they could not explain it. Energy communicates before words do. Now words have followed. This is alignment, not luck. Alignment feels steady, not chaotic. Even when emotions are strong, the foundation feels calm. Return to that calm whenever your mind races. It is your anchor. You may feel a quiet seriousness settling in. This is not heaviness. It is reverence. When something truly matters, the soul slows down to honor it properly. Fear scatters. Reverence centers. You are centered now. Your soulmate may feel more careful because truth removes the ability to hide in ambiguity. Once someone speaks honestly, they cannot retreat the same way. This can look like measured energy, thoughtful pauses, and responsibility. This is not coldness. It is accountability. Accountability is the doorway to commitment. Commitment is not built through intensity. It is built through consistency. Watch actions more than words. Let time reveal truth without confrontation. You do not need to interrogate love. Observe it. Patterns do not lie. Single moments can confuse. Consistency tells the truth over time. Do not put your life on hold while you observe. Continue living. Continue growing. Continue creating, resting, and laughing. Love that demands you stop being yourself is not aligned. Divine love integrates into your life. It adds to you without consuming you. You are allowed to be whole without explanation. Wholeness attracts wholeness. You are no longer seeking completion. You are allowing connection. Completion creates dependency. Connection creates partnership. You are choosing partnership, and that choice changes everything. Your standards are not obstacles. They are filters. Filters protect what is precious. Do not lower your standards out of fear. What is meant for you meets you at your level, not below it. Let your boundaries test what approaches you. What survives is real. What resists was never stable. Protect your peace. Not everything sacred needs an audience while it is forming. Privacy rooted in discernment is wisdom. Keep returning to yourself. Check your body. Check your emotions. Check your truth. You are the constant. Relationships are additions, not replacements. Nothing has been wasted. Nothing has been rushed. Nothing has been denied. Everything has been timed. You are exactly where you need to be to choose with awareness instead of fear. Truth has already been spoken. Now it asks to be lived. This is where maturity holds alignment steady. You are becoming someone who chooses consciously, loves wisely, and honors themselves fully. What is unfolding does not require persuasion. It requires presence. And you are present now.